Welcome to the Power Lunch Podcast, your midday dose of boldness, brilliance, and a little bit of badassery. I'm Amy Souza, here with my powerhouse co-hosts, Tracy Muntz and Lisa Carmichael, and we're coming in hot to shake things up. Each week, we dish out bite-sized, high-impact conversations on business, health, purpose, wealth, and the wild, beautiful chaos in between. Whether you're building your dream, rebooting your story, or just catching your breath, this is your space to get grounded, inspired, and reignited. This isn't just another podcast, it's your power move. Let's go.
Hi, ladies. We're back, and we have a guest. Someone who embodies the kind of resilience and reinvention we love to spotlight. After a breast cancer diagnosis shattered her doing it all mindset, Maggie Judge chose transformation over burnout. She turned her wake-up call into a movement, what she now calls the life philosophy, loving yourself forward every day. Girls, our last conversation was about mindset shift. And Maggie, what mindset shift had to happen for you to finally say, I'm doing this?
The mindset shift came from the wake-up call that you just mentioned. And thank you for having me, by the way. I love being a part of this conversation.
I love it too.
My life philosophy was born out of 3 words: you have cancer. And I had, up to that point, been such a workaholic. And I say been, past tense, it's still a work in progress, but I was always hustling. I was always trying to achieve. And I had what I called my 4 Ps: pleasing, perfecting, performing, proving. And that was an exhausting cycle. And the 3 words of you have cancer was devastating, but it wasn't about the cancer. It was about the message to figure out how to show up more for myself and just come from a place of living differently and working differently. So the mindset came out of, and it's just literally trying to figure out how to keep myself alive from that.
How long did it take you to get into remission? I'm assuming you're in remission.
I am in remission. Yes, thank you.
And how long?
A year and 8 months-ish.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I just got my letter literally this morning.
Yeah.
On my last clear mammogram. No signs of it, so I'm another
That's
clear mammogram.
Amazing.
So yeah,
I just had a mammogram on Friday. So if you are out there listening, get your mammogram.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I love that. What's been the biggest, other than mindset? I mean, obviously we know that, but what's been the biggest health shift you've made here? So how long ago was that? P.S.
So November of 20 was my diagnosis.
Okay.
And then the treatments for the next year
So
and a half plus.
So oh my goodness. So right in the
middle
middle of COVID.
Whew. And you know what's interesting about that is I was initially bummed I couldn't have people sit with me during my treatments, which were like 5 hours long.
Sure.
But it was the best thing in the world for me.
Right.
Because it forced me to journal, to go inside, to all those things. So
right.
That that was 2020, end of 2020 to early 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We were just talking about those shifts that happened in these last 5 years, and how during the pandemic that, Lisa, what did you call it? The lockdown, right? Like we were really locked. I mean, but even though, I was working through the whole thing, and, these two were, Lisa or Amy was cleaning her floors, and, but there was an opportunity. There was an opportunity, whether you and I'm so sorry you had that diagnosis, and, all of us, I think were put into a place where we had opportunity to go one way or another, right? We could go down the rabbit hole of feeling sorry for ourselves or disempowered, or why is this happening, or go into a lazy mode, or how is this an opportunity for me to show up differently?
Exactly.
So what to show up differently?
Exactly.
So what has been something you've done health-wise that really has shifted the way you show up for yourself today?
Shift is befriending my inner critic.
Mm.
Yeah. So Roxy, my inner critic, is a sassy, short red hair woman who I'm making my ally. And Roxy, the interesting thing with Roxy is I started to truly journal what she was saying to me and when she was saying those things to me, and that led to me giving her a name so that I could help navigate some of that, because it was overtaking all of my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I finally got to that point where Roxy, who thrived in the corporate world, it was do more, you're not worthy, they're going to be disappointed, all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to really befriend her and try to shift that inner narrative, it led me down the path of also changing my 4 Ps. So my 4 Ps of perfecting, pleasing, proving, producing was the story I was telling myself. And what I did is I changed. And now
so
Roxy
slowly,
and I go on
tell
that.
me the 4 Ps so I can write these down.
So perfecting.
No, the new ones.
The
I want
new
the new
ones.
I don't care about the
You
old
don't care
ones.
about
The old ones. Those seem gross. I want the new ones.
I
So
love that.
slowly so I can write them
I
down.
am present.
I love that.
I am playful.
Yes.
I am purposeful. And I am open to possibility.
Yes.
And now my morning time, which is part of my just everyday ritual that is so important to me, involves those 4 Ps in some way. And that's the new language that Roxy and I are playing with.
I love that. I love that. Ladies, do you have an inner critic? Do you have an inner critic? First off, if you say no, you're lying. So do you have a name for your inner critic?
I do not have a name for my inner critic, but I definitely have an inner critic.
I don't have a name for my inner critic either, but the volume definitely has been turned down post-pandemic, even pre-pandemic. I was on this journey before the pandemic hit, that I knew something was off in everything that I was doing, not just in my business, but who I was. So yeah, definitely.
Have you guys seen the movie Luca? Disney movie Luca?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where he's about to go down the hill and he's like, I can't do that? So he's on this makeshift Vespa. Do you guys remember this?
Mm-hmm.
He's on this makeshift Vespa with his buddy, Luca is, and he's got all this fear running through him, and his friend reminds him that his inner critic is named Bruno. And he has to yell, Silencio Bruno! Silencio Bruno! Many times, when I'm really feeling, and you're right, that inner voice is really there to, in the initial, was to keep us safe, right? We've had it since we've been really little. Don't do that, that's not safe, mom says no, like to keep us on that path. But then there came a point where it becomes a beat up. For me, it was somebody that beat me up. And I remember driving down the road. I know exactly where I was. I can, if you guys want to know where I was, I can tell you. But I know, like, it was such a pivotal moment in my life that I remember where I was when that voice was like screaming at me. And I said, stop, out loud. I'm driving my car. I'm like, stop. We can't do this anymore. Both of us are trying to keep her alive. But the way we're doing this is like we hate each other and we hate her and we don't. And it was like I was having this conversation. I call her Linda now only because my daughter she does this thing with Linda. So right now my voice is Linda. And I can be like, Linda, stop. Like, remember, we love her. We're soft with her. And then Linda will be like, oh, that's right. You're right. How can we show up differently right now for her? And I have so many voices in my head, like I don't just have one. So she has multiple names. So sometimes Bruno comes through, sometimes Linda comes through, sometimes there's other ones. But
well, and if you do give that name, sitting on the couch with you,
you can start a relationship.
Right, and if it's a friend, you're not going to let them They treated you that way, right?
100%.
So it's navigating that together.
So was this a personal journey, or did you have someone saying, if you want to heal yourself, this is what you need to do?
This was a personal journey, and this was so when I was navigating all of the cancer treatments and things, I had to stop. Like, my world stopped. I couldn't work anymore, right? Or, I mean, I was trying to, but it wasn't feasible. And so then I had to figure out, how do I show up for me now? I've never done that. I don't know what it looks like, which is when Loving Yourself Forward Every Day was born. And it wasn't about, I think we talked about this at the panel, it wasn't about self-care, because I tend to not like that, because that's like bubble baths and massages, and we tend to want to get it right. It was about, what does it look like today to show up for me? Because every day it's different.
Right.
And so that is actually what, it was really, really, truly about what that looked like to love myself and show up for me versus the others that I was always looking to serve. And the other things, people and things.
Maggie, I have a question for you. You have the 4 new P's and the 4 old P's, and the old ones you had mentioned: perfecting, pleasing, proving, and producing. Which one was the hardest for you to let go?
Perfecting. I'm still working to let it go. Right out of the gate. Perfecting. Yep.
I have to say to myself a lot, progress over perfection, Tracy.
Yes.
Progress over perfection.
Yeah.
Because perfection stops us.
Yep.
Right? It's like, well, if I can't do this, I'm not doing it.
Yep.
Right? Or we continue to do,
keeps us in the loop.
and it just keeps us in a loop. So it's the worst emotion. I mean, like when I hear a woman say, "Oh, I'm a perfectionist," I just, like, my heart goes out to them, because they are in constant beat up mode. You're never going to be perfect, because our measure of perfection is always based on your level of my perfection.
Yes, and it's up here, right? And it's not achievable.
And the reality is you don't even care about me that way. Like, you're over there going, "Trace, you got this."
Yeah.
Right? Anybody that's giving you limits or judgments on whether or not you're perfect or not, they're not doing that in love. So, and 99.9% of the time, your level of my perfection is so much less than what my level is. So it's only perception.
It is. That's such a great point.
It's not.
And it contributes to the never enough.
Right.
Never enough.
Right. Let's keep us down. Keep us down. And the reality is it's so disempowering. It really just keeps us in this loop of, I'm never enough, so poor me, I'm so like, and it keeps us in this, like, feeling sorry for ourselves. I mean, legit, if you are sitting there saying I'm never enough, it is you feeling sorry for yourself.
Yep.
Because you can definitely get out of it. It takes effort.
Yes.
It takes effort.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Amy, what about you? Perfecting, pleasing,
Oh
proving,
boy.
or producing?
That is a season I'm trying to get out of.
All 4?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I love Maggie's present, playful, purposeful, and what was the last one? Possibilities.
Yes.
That you spoke of. That is the season I need to move to.
So, Amy,
that's
how do
a
you
big
stay more
mind
present?
shift.
How do you stay more present in your life today?
I am a big calendar blocker. I sit down every Monday and I plan my entire week and I block everything that I need to out.
Are you keeping time present for what's the, so I'm gonna ask this by telling you, like, telling you about me. Every year at the beginning of January, I kind of plan holidays, because travel is really important to me. And what I found is that if I don't put it on the calendar, it doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
Right? Or something goes over it.
Yes.
Right? The one that I'm having challenges with right now is I want to spend more time with my grandson. But when I am with my grandson, nothing gets in the way of my grandson. So how are you staying more present for we can calendar block for business. We can calendar block for creativity. That's where you do your networking. But how are you present for your family or for Amy?
I am not.
More so.
I'm not. That's something that I'm working on. I really struggle. I'm constantly booking myself with something.
So you're not even there.
No.
You're not even saying I'm there, but my mind is elsewhere. You're
No,
saying
I'm somewhere else.
Could you calendar block for them?
I am trying to, absolutely. I'm even trying to calendar block in drive time so I get there on time.
There you go. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's
You
good.
gotta-
It goes back
I
to the
do.
purposeful.
You have
right?
to start
and
somewhere.
very intentional about
Yep.
being present and very purposeful about this is, and finding that that's because we can't get
It's a
that time
challenge.
back, can we?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. How about
That's
you,
good.
Liz? How are you being more playful?
How am I
Oh.
being? Oh, I'm always playful.
Really?
I am. I love to play.
I want to know what are you
Yeah,
doing?
help.
Yeah, give us some ideas. What's some playfulness?
Well, my paddleboard is coming on Friday.
I love that.
I've learned that being.
I love that.
I've learned that being around women, I wish when my kids were little, I would have made more time for that. Because I thought I had to do it all alone and no one could do it as good as I could. And I needed to be around women like you ladies to make myself feel good about myself, that I wasn't on that journey alone. Because being an entrepreneur can be lonely, but if you don't start reaching out to people and talking with people and having conversations like that, you will feel stuck, you will struggle, you will spin your wheels. But this podcast is so cool because it lets other women know and other people, our listeners know that, yeah, we did all felt alone at some point or another, but we have each other that we can lean on
Yeah.
in ways that we would never have imagined. So,
Yeah.
you were a speaker at one of our power luncheons, and I'm just curious, Maggie, how did that feel for you, being up in front and sharing your knowledge? And did you have any takeaways from that?
Yeah, my takeaway was I loved being part of the conversation with the other panelists, because it was just we all shared so much likeness in where we came at things with respect to taking care of ourselves and how, because it was a great mix of women. But it was also listening to the questions from the audience. So being in that room, just having that conversation, we as women, we don't do enough of it. So the platform for that, brilliant, all of you, for doing that. I think it was empowering, it was inspiring, and I felt like I don't even know what I talked about, but I listened and I heard a lot. It was great.
I love it.
Well, it wasn't like that. It was a collaboration, and it wasn't a competition. I mean, even though you were all in the health field, there was no tension.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
that was really cool.
I can't believe that we've already gotten to our time.
What?
I know. So we're going to
We just
continue.
started.
We're going to continue this conversation because you are such a blessing to have with us. I think that you're opening up a conversation that really is so important that we start having about the difference between self-care and restoration. And I want to get into that a little bit more on our next time together. But before we go, I have one question for everybody. What's one power move? And for the ladies, I just asked this question, so it's what's one power move you've made this week? What's one power move you've made this week that could potentially change everything for you?
Come on, it's Monday.
Yeah.
I know. What's one power move that you decide to make? Or what's one calendar move that you're going to make? What's one move? What's one thing that if you changed it, if you did it, change everything? I'm going to use mine. I'll do mine first so that way you guys can think for 2 seconds because it's my question. What I'm going to do is I really have been saying that I'm going to, health is super important to me, but I continually procrastinate on it. And I continually put it as I'll start it tomorrow. So mine is I had to go back and I had to remember what was my result. Why am I doing this? What's my why? And where did I feel the most at peace? And it was walking in Lebanon Hills. Now it's 22 minutes from my house now, so it doesn't feel as convenient, but I'm going back to Lebanon Hills on a daily basis, walking with time with God. And that's my purpose. It's not health. It became time with God. So that's my
leads
power.
to health, right?
That leads to, of course,
and more.
But Lisa,
I love that.
I love.
and more, but Lisa.
I love that because you're at a higher elevation than the smaller problem.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
What is one thing? It's been such a journey these last 5-6 years, and I can't put my finger on one thing. You asked me earlier to go back to my weekend where I just wasn't feeling productive, and as I was driving to meet with you ladies today, just being open to knowing that good things are waiting for me and they will manifest, and it doesn't matter what I do, it will happen. It's coming to me, and I just have to practice patience.
Trust and believe. Maggie?
Well, mine ties to one of my 4 Ps.
I love it.
Out of context, this might not, the outcome doesn't matter, but the influence or the inspiration came from being truly open and listening. So being present with myself and listening, and I kid you not, within a given meditation, something opened up for me, and it was about, it was breaking through some resistance of reaching back out to some corporate clients. And the minute I did it, 3 corporate clients a day later. And it's like, I was resisting it because I felt like my ideal client is over here, right? And I didn't want to shift that. And I don't have to shift that.
That's right.
But I'm adding, and it felt so good. And so the open to possibility, trusting, and it led to like, bing, bing, bing. Oh, okay.
I have
Yay.
2 things to say about that.
Yay.
First off, it's in the stillness that we hear those answers.
Yes.
And we must find stillness in our life.
Yes.
And then the second thing is I have this belief that God's like standing on the other side of fear, right? He's just standing there and he's waiting. And the minute we open the door, he just goes, whoo,
Yes.
right? But we gotta open the door.
Yes.
We gotta open the door to that fear. And the minute we make that decision, God's like, here's all the things I was gonna give you, right? Like it's just, I just got chills thinking about it, but that's my vision of when we're standing there going, ugh, I don't want to, right? That resistance, the minute we turn that handle, the minute we have that intent, it's like, blessings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
love
a pair
that.
of earrings that says, what you seek is seeking you. That says, what you seek is seeking you.
Oh.
And it's so
That's right.
to your point, like
That's
down
right.
the door.
Woo! Love it. How about you, Aim? How do you want to finish this?
My power move is asking for help. I have a publisher assistant who will be at my house tomorrow to help me with my business for 3 hours. So that's going to take a lot off my plate.
I love that.
Yes. So
And it's worth the
And it's
asking
only
for
Monday.
help. Yes. Yep.
Oh, this was amazing, ladies. We did go over by 2 minutes and 56 seconds because we're trying to keep them at 20 minutes.
For having me.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. If something we shared sparked a new idea, gave you a fresh perspective, or simply made you feel seen, we'd love for you to pass it on. Share this episode with a friend, a colleague, or a fellow powerhouse woman who's walking her own journey. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Until next time, keep showing up, keep rising, and remember, there's no ceiling you can't break through.